Good evening, class, and welcome to your virtual course. My name is Dr. Araipur. You can call me Dr. A. I sent you several emails slash announcements as of a couple of weeks ago, asking you to explore the course. And here we are. Here's the home page of Canvas. The way I've set it up is just you see some numbers and you follow them. Number one, there is a very short video, 1 or 2 minute long, welcoming you to the course. I'm very happy to have you here. Number two, class philosophy, course objective. Let's quickly look at it. Class philosophy, this class is a community and therefore we all have the same objective to learn. Online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you are not in this alone. I would like each of you to approach our online class with a great attitude and a willingness to help one another. In other words, yeah, this is an online course, but you're more than welcome to, work together, ask each other a question, and that would be the best scenario. Uh, and that, of course, I'm talking about the class in general, assignments, but when it comes to exams and quizzes, everything is individually done, of course. Now, course objective. The objectives of our Calculus 1 course are about the introduction of fundamental concepts of calculus, which is a branch of mathematics focused on understanding rates of change and accumulation. So in short, we learn the basics of calculus, differentiation, integration, and of course, some applications of that. To contact me, here's my email address. If you use the Canvas inbox, I know that you belong to this course. If you don't and you want to use the email address, please make sure you put your full name as well as the course that you're registered in. Going back to the homepage of Canvas, the third one is the announcements. So you can click on the announcements right here or on the left navigation bar, makes no difference. I can even put this in student mode and just move this up here. All right, so the announcements, these are the announcements that have been already, sent to you. If you miss an email / announcement, this is where you find them, especially when it comes to the exams and the passwords, okay? So I was hoping that everybody has had a chance to explore the course. Now, going back to the homepage of Canvas. Number 4, now we have a bunch of stuff underneath. Before we get there, I want to look at the left side and this Tech Connect zone because sometimes students mix things up. On the left side, this Tech Connect zone is where you can join the class. It takes you to the class, to the Zoom meeting of the class. However, at the bottom of the home page of Canvas, this is the Zoom meeting for the student office hours, okay? So, and of course, the timing is every day from 7 to 9 a.m. So, those are the things that I wanted to discuss. And now, under number 4, we have the syllabus modules, where we basically find everything. Homework quizzes done in WebAssign. So let me look at, before I look at anything else, let me look at the discussion forum here, and it's not graded, everybody. We have the student bios. That is your choice Okay. I put mine as an example. If you like to write yours for your fellow students to know, by all means. When you read somebody's bio, if you want to reply, we do it with just utmost respect. Okay. Also, there is this frequently asked questions. In the past, students had some questions, came up, and I put them here. For example, how to use a math editor for a Canvas, tech support, and so on. Where do I find the password? The exam password announcements with the exam title are emailed to students almost a week in advance and have all the information, including the exam password. Now, if for any reason you miss that, you can find it under the announcements with the same topic, exam one, exam two, so on and so forth. Going back to the homepage of Canvas, let's look at the syllabus. Again, you can get to the syllabus right from here or from the left navigation bar, makes no difference. So we have the syllabus and we have the calendar. First, I want to quickly show you the calendar. Every 3 to 4 weeks, we have an exam. I've set up all exams so you take them on Fridays. I want you to be relaxed when you take the exam. And basically, you have about a week to take it any day that you're comfortable with. But of course, it expires on Friday. And you want to give it enough time. It expires at 11:59 p.m. Of course, just for the sake of argument, if you start at 11, you have only 59 minutes, so you don't want to do that. So 3, 4 weeks. Okay, we have an exam, and all of them are on Fridays, except the last one, which is on the last day of the class. We'll discuss that, the final exam, as we come across it. And going back to the syllabus. Now the actual syllabus right here. First, of course, welcoming you to the course. Welcome to your virtual course. And then you see the topics nowadays. The syllabi are getting longer and longer. So that's why I put them in this format. You can go to a topic of interest. If you don't want to read the whole thing, you don't have to. You can look at something that interests you. For example, a lot of times students look at the grading policy and so forth. So let me scroll down. Again, the information about the course, the time, and the section number, and so on. Student learning outcome, course objectives, text. The text, I believe there was an email sent to you regarding the first day digital access. You have access to it digitally through Canvas. And there was a question regarding the text can be avoided, and the answer is no. It is not up to me. I don't make that decision, class. You have to get the text to be able to do your assignments. And I wish it were up to me. It's not. I just want you to know that. Again, the first day digital access. I believe the good thing about it is that students get all 3 semesters. That's what they tell me. So calculus 1, 2, 3. In that sense, it makes it really worthwhile. Then class calendar, again, the information about the first day in general, the time, the Zoom meeting, and the synopsis of the exam dates, all of which take place on Fridays. And the exam reviews are done prior weeks to exam during the class meeting, and the final takes place, I believe, on Tuesday is the date. And again, we discuss it as we come across it and get closer to it. Now, of course, you're going to follow the Canvas timeline. There will be no proctorio exam. Let me explain about the exams here. I'm assuming everybody is here to learn because you're going to need this course for the next course. And I expect students to have, when they start the exam, they start with a pledge that they neither give nor receive any help from any sources whatsoever. You may only use a scientific calculator. There's a specific topic that you may use a graphing calculator. As we come across it, I will mention that. But there's no proctorio. My assumption is when you take the exam, you assume you're taking the exam in class, and you follow it accordingly. Uh, it is strongly advised to watch the recordings of practice tests to get ready for the exam. All exam reviews are recorded and can be found under the recorded practice tests, so on and so forth. All exams expire at 11:59 p.m. And again, you start at 11. On that day, you have only 59 minutes, so don't do that. Meetings are mentioned again here, important dates. Calculators, as I mentioned, student may need a graphing calculator, but you can use a scientific calculator. Only for certain exams, you may use graphing calculator. Okay. Let's see. Free online calculators. By the way, there are, I wish I could give you the digital platform and everything for free. It's not up to me. I do it with other courses. There are some free online resources for the calculators. I put them here in case you need that. Tech support, Math Success Center. I'll go over that again, and I'll show you on Canvas where you can find it. There are other helpful websites now. Now it's the grading policy I want to discuss. The online homework, and you have multiple attempts, worth 200 points. Basically, as long as it's done before the due date, you're in good shape. When you do the quiz, each one has one attempt, 100 points. So 200 points for the entire set of homework, 100 points for the entire set of quizzes. You have a bunch of them. And then each test is worth 100 points. The final, which is comprehensive, is 300 points. And it's mostly based on the previous exams. And this is a point system. We receive a total of 1,000 points, everybody. 90%, that means 900 points and above, is an A. 80%, that means 800 to 899, is a B. 70%, that means 700 to 799, 70% and above, is a C, and so on. So it's pretty straightforward. Basically, there's no makeup policy. You have the entire week to take the exam. You can take it at the earliest time of your convenience. You can wait until Friday, and so on. You must take all exams in order to pass the course. Your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final exam score if the final score is a grade of B, that means 80% or better. Homework and quizzes are both at 95% or higher, and this action will result in a higher letter grade. Even if we go through that, if I change the lowest exam grade, but your overall course grade doesn't change by one letter, it's not worth doing it. Also, if you fail to take an exam, you will receive 0 point for that exam, and it will not be dropped or replaced. If you have a serious and compelling reason that meets university guidelines, documentation is required, then a makeup may be granted. Late work, basically don't do that. You get behind. It's very easy to get behind. There's a 10% deduction. There is no late work or exams or quizzes. Okay, how much time do I need to do well in this course? According to CSULB Study 36 and other researchers, we need about 3 times the number of units per week to do well. This is a 5-unit course. So we are going to need about 15 hours per week to do well in this course. I can't emphasize this enough. Dropping policy, no show, so on and so forth. If you miss the first session, don't register with the publisher immediately, miss the first assignment, do the first week, miss the first or second exam, you will be dropped from the course. Then we have some important and helpful websites about and information about DSPS, financial aid, and so on. Summary steps to success. Study the PowerPoints in each module and watch their video lectures. Do your homework and quiz before the deadline. Study the practice test and their solutions. Send any question via Canvas inbox or Canvas email. Attend the review sessions scheduled before each exam. Take the exam by their due date. And here's the office hours. As mentioned before, you can find it at the bottom of the homepage of Canvas, as well as right here. And then basic needs, other informations that you may find them helpful. As far as this part, they call it Netiquette for online learning. I'm not going to go through that. Please take a look at it. In short, we are here and we want to make sure that we are absolutely courteous towards one another. We act accordingly. We are like professionals and we have nothing but pure respect, utmost respect for one another, please. When you send an email, please understand you're not texting me, okay? So make sure it's a proper spelling and grammar. And as I mentioned, I should know which class you belong to, okay? So please write down the course, the section number, and so forth. And the bottom line is use nothing but a positive tone. That's really important, everybody. Okay, that's the synopsis of that as far as I'm concerned. So that's the syllabus. Again, if you missed anything, you can go back on it, or if you're interested in a specific topic on it, you can do that. Like I said, I put it in this format so you can go to a topic of interest. Going back to the homepage of Canvas, we covered basically everything. Now we are going to go to modules. So you can go to modules right from here or again from the left navigation bar. So what do we find? First and foremost, this is what will take you to your digital platform by WebAssign. So if you go there, you register, it'll take you here, just so you know. This is the ebook. Again, the publisher is the WebAssign, Stuart, the 9th edition. Here's the recorded lectures and practice test, and we will add the new ones. But I want to look at the first module, which is week 1 to 3, called exam 1 module. And when we go over that, you see that the next one is very similar to that. So is the next one, so is the next one, all the way to the end. But at the end, there are some stuff that are resources. For example, we have chapter 6 from 6.2 to 6.5 at the end. Used to be a part of Calculus 1, it's not. Before that, you find a graphing calculator information. So what do you find here? Let me just, this is resources, as I mentioned. So I put this here for you, which has some calculator commands. Also, it is possible to try to download an emulator for a graphing calculator. If it works and it doesn't work all the time, you will get a calculator similar to that. So you can try it. I've tried it. Sometimes it fails on some of the computers. I haven't been able to do so. Sometimes it does work, as it did in this case. Also, as I mentioned, these are the online calculators in case that one doesn't work. And I believe the list is also on the syllabus. And then if you scroll down, you get to various TI calculator commands. So that is the one at the bottom, the one right before the bottom, that's the resource. Everything else is pretty similar. The module one seems to have more than the rest of them. Here's the reason. In the first module, I have the following for you. The very first one is about pre-calculus. There's a diagnostic test with a key. If you haven't had a math course for a while, I highly recommend you take this, and it does have the key. It will help you get ready to move on with this course. Okay, so that's one. If your prior knowledge of mathematics is good and you look, I would look at a few questions from each part, and if I feel comfortable, then you don't have to do much. So this one is just a resource. The next one we will cover is chapter 1 review in the form of a PowerPoint as well as a PDF file. The first chapter is not covered here. I go over that again to remind you of some of the basics that come from prior knowledge of mathematics, okay? So we have it here. Now I have that, I think I went over that again. I have that in the form of a, as I mentioned, PowerPoint as well as a PDF. Okay, the next one, it says chapter 2 limits. We have the PowerPoints of the lectures, for example, section 2.1. The lectures are here, one by one, starting with 2.1. Okay. Now, and what is the last one that you find here? This is exam 1 review, practice test, whatever you want to call it. This is the synopsis of what is covered in the first exam. Okay, everybody? And everything is here with details, okay? So what do we find there? Let me quickly remind you. Under exam 1 module, we have pre-calculus review. I highly recommend with the keys. I highly recommend you look at them, at least a couple of questions. Let's see. I don't think you can need this. Okay. Okay. So you want to look at each part A, B, C, D, they have it. And look at a couple of questions if you feel comfortable with them. You don't want to look at the entire thing, that's fine. You have the chapter 1 review. In the form of a PowerPoint and PDF file. We have the lectures for chapter 2 section by section in the form of a PowerPoint and exam 1 review. Everything can be found here. This is important for you to remember. When we're done with the first module, then you know what to do with the rest of them. It repeats, okay? We have the chapter and we have the review, okay? And the review I have in the form of a PowerPoint and a PDF file. But why is it? It seems to be shorter because we don't have the pre-calculus review or chapter 1 review there. That's why. And then they repeat the same manner. And as I mentioned at top here, this is where you will get to your digital platform. This is where you get to your ebook. And so what is this one? All right. So over here where it says lectures and practice test, this These are my YouTube channels. This one gives you the lectures section by section from chapter 1. Okay. So we have the PowerPoints and we have the lectures, recorded lectures all the way to the end of actually chapter 6. Now, then this one is the latest recorded practice test. So we have the practice test, and I'm going to change the order because this is an older one, but if you see, the first chapter starts at the bottom because then you could see the new ones. I'm going to reverse that, but for the new ones, again, it should be in this order. So we have all the exam reviews. If anybody wants to move on faster, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay. And that's the beauty of the course. You have really a choice. So we got everything that we need. What about the work that we do and where do we do it? As I mentioned, you click on this one and it will take you to your digital platform here. And over here, if you don't see everything, if you click on all, it will show you all your assignments. One of the assignments that is due just about immediately, and we're going to start tonight, is chapter 1 preview. Okay. It's due in a couple of days. I'd like you to get started with that. But notice the rest of the homework, they seem to be lumped together, and we do on the 26th until we get to exam 1. At this point, it doesn't show the exam 1. It's not. But it's right before exam 1. And I want to make a point. Take a look at the due dates. There is a reason it's in that format. In the past, students would ask me to reactivate their assignments because they didn't get a chance to do it, or they worked and they just had time to do the work on the weekend. I don't want to go through that again. So please do the assignments in the following manner. Every week, do a couple of assignments, 2-3 assignments class, okay? That means one homework, one quiz, and so forth. If you wait until the day on the 26th, which is the day before the first exam, there's no way to be able to finish all that and get ready. More importantly, learn to get ready to take the exam. So please don't do that. So when you go to an assignment, okay, for example, here at the chapter 1 preview, so you get that started. It takes you there. It gives you a list, okay, how many questions that you have. It's basically not timed when it comes to the homework. And what I want you to see is that when you want to do any assignment here, a question normally has some sort of resources. So for example, the first one, you can see, read it. It will take you to a specific section that covers the topic. So the help is available, or it gives you a chance to watch it, and that would be a video assignment, a video help, if you will. Okay, so you can run it and watch it if you want. Okay. As you can see, this question practically is explained right here. watch it. So that's the beauty of doing your homework. And again, I can't really see anyone having problem with that if they spend enough time to get them done. So again, I want to do this question. I have a difficult time with that. I can either do the reading or watching the video, and I can nail the question. Don't forget, when I'm done, I got to submit answer. Okay. When you submit the answer, the question that is answered, that part becomes part of your grade and becomes recorded. Then you can go back. If for some reason you couldn't continue, you can go back and finish it the next time you get a chance. As long as it's done before the due date, you get the full credit. All right, so I guess that's it. Let's quickly recap what we have done. So here's the homepage of Canvas, everybody. So first we had maybe a 1 minute long video welcoming you to the course. Number 2 was the class philosophy. Number 3, bunch of announcements. They've been all sent to you. Okay. For example, this is the recorded orientation, and I will update this one. This is coming up. We are doing it tonight. Then right underneath the announcements, I want to remind you that Tech Connect Zoom, this is where you and how you join the course. At the bottom of the page, we have the office hours. Don't mix them up. This is access to the Zoom meeting for the office hours. And then under number 4, we had the syllabus, modules, and so forth. So on the left navigation bar, reminding you, this is the discussion forum that has the student bios, frequently asked questions. Obviously, they are not graded. Then the next one underneath, a couple of points down, Math Success Center. This one has the discussion about Math Success Center, the tutoring center, where you can get tutoring if need be. And there are various help available, including a free calculator loan program. If I believe it's limited, it's based on first come, first serve. So if you want to get a calculator, if you happen not to have one, then you can check it out with them. Free walk-up or drop-in tutoring available. Okay. NetTutor, I believe NetTutor is free and it's available 24 hours a day. You can check with them. You can get help in person or online. Okay. And of course, they are offering various forms of help for statistics, math bootcamp, math for physics, and there are other resources, everybody. So please take a minute to look at it, see what they have to offer you. And they do have help for after hours accordingly as well. Going back to the homepage of Canvas. Basically, we can find just about everything under the modules. Under the modules, the first thing is where we go to our WebAssign digital platform. The second one is our ebook. The next one is the recorded lectures, practice tests from the past, and the new ones become available here. This is my YouTube channel. Now, after that, we are just concerned with module 1. Exam 1 module or module 1 has pre-calculus review, chapter 1 review in the form of a PowerPoint as well as a PDF file. Chapter 2 lectures, PowerPoint lectures, and exam 1 review. At the end, we have 2 things. At the very bottom, from section 6.2 to 6.5, if anybody is interested, and a graphing calculator, more specifically TI calculator information and commands. That's what we find under the modules. So if we go to our digital platform, if we don't see this, all we have to do, click on all, and they all become available. And for now, we are concerned with the first module. Every homework and quiz is due the day before the exam, except chapter 1 review or chapter 1 preview. This is due in a couple of days. We start tonight. Okay, students who are interested in staying in the course, they must start tonight. And when you start working on any assignments, they do have all kinds of help, from reading that takes you to a specific page of a text to watching, which is a video available to help you understand the course. I hope that was helpful. I wish you all best of luck. Happy studying, everybody.